go. After some nice music, this is ZS6YI, bidding everyone welcome to the Sunday DATV Worldwide Net, transmitting from near Johannesburg, about 50 odd kilometers south of Johannesburg, in a place called Three Rivers, KG 33 X-Ray Hotel. Today we have not too many people on just yet, but I'm sure it's going to improve as time goes on. I just want to see, we are hopefully transmitting on YouTube as well, so let me just check that, and then we can continue. Let's just do that. Click. Yes, we are. So that's fine. All's good. Systems are on the go. I want to take the opportunity of thanking the Qatar Satellite Company for allowing us the opportunity to come onto their satellite. Well, actually to co-host their satellite with the AMSAT DL satellite, the QO-100 it is known as, first geostationary amateur radio satellite in the world. It's been going since about 2018, and I've been in program much longer than that, of course. We also wish to thank the AMSAT UK team, as well as the British Amateur Television Club, for their wonderful webpage, wiki, and also the magazines that they put out. With that, let's just have a look, see who's on the list today. We have, so far, we've got myself, then James, M1 Delta Sierra Tango. He says attempt 2, probably only one round. That's fine, James. We won't keep you long, and let's hope it'll be a success. And then I put on ZS1 Mike. I hope he's on. He had a problem receiving last week, but he sorted that out. Crazy problem. He can tell you what he did for those. And then hello, Peter, GW7BZY. Saw you on from Wales a bit earlier. Nice signal. A little bit of hiss on your audio. Quite a bit of background hiss, but it could be just acoustics in the room. And then hello to Henry. We'll see if you're on frequency in a moment, Henry. And of course, hello to Martin. Those are the stations I have at the moment. So James, would you like to take it? Mike 1 Delta Sierra Tango to perhaps take it from Zulu Sierra 6 Yankee India.
Okay, I think we're on. Good. Hello, everyone. Second attempt of the or joining this this net on the satellite, which is good. I think maybe you remember a few weeks ago I joined and had a few issues to try and resolve. One of them ended up being received. So we'll see if I can stand more than one round today. It's a lovely sunny bank holiday weekend here in the UK, and it's hot outside, and it's currently 38 Celsius in the shack, so it's pretty warm. 6 meters has been booming in today, so been working to ease on 6, which has been time I came on. So I think so detect signals on the narrow band, but they were about 25 to 30 dB down, so considerably down on what would would be normal. So I needed to work my way through logically all the things that were going wrong. So I tested everything from bias tees, replaced those. Sometimes it would work and sometimes it wouldn't. Changed all the cables. I ended up replacing the LMB. So I was using a modified Bullseye previously. I wondered if maybe I damaged that during the modification, because you could literally let me bring my power up again. Whoops. Okay. Power seems to be fluctuating a little bit. Yes, replacing the LMB, I switched out the GPS, the splitters, I used different dishes, different receivers, fully different systems. Eventually, I worked it out to be the passive GPS splitter. And one of the side effects on that of that was I could see the FT8 frequency in two different places on the band. And obviously that's not normal. So disconnected the cables, plugged them back in, turned it back on, and sure enough, everything was okay. Have I stopped receiving myself? I'm unsure what's going on here. I'm not sure if I'm still being received or not. But anyway, resolved all those issues, and that was fine. Okay, the audio's all over the place as well. Okay, I'll drop carrier and we'll see whether any of that worked.
Okay, James. M1 DST and the group from ZS1 Mike saying good morning, good afternoon, good evening. But I think we're all more or less in the same time zone at the moment. Only 1 hour difference. Our Western family and Eastern family, I don't know what's happened to them. Anyway, okay, James, yeah, you had a couple of dropouts around about the middle of your over, more towards the end, and then you did something and came back, but your power is not fluctuating gently, it's like enormous. It goes from a D4 down to a D0 and below, where I actually lose a little bit, and then it comes back. So it looks like a bad RF connector somewhere or something like that. It's definitely huge fluctuations in your RF output. Picture quality excellent, audio quality excellent. Yes, I had a very similar problem. The previous week I was still on the net, and the next Sunday, flash up everything as per usual. Yeah, there's noise on the LNB and blah blah blah, but no beacon. But quite a high noise level on the spectrum display. I was just about to phone Gary, or I think I WhatsApped Gary or something. Yeah, is the satellite down or something? Because there's nothing. No, he said no. He sent me a WhatsApp little video, where he's receiving the beacon and other people. So, oh well, what's going on here? Now, we've had an enormous storm, the worst I've ever seen in my life in Worcester here. Many houses lost their roofs, trees over cars blown over, prefab buildings completely rolling down in industrial areas and things. It was enormous. 200 kilometer an hour winds peaked here. So I thought, okay, maybe my main receiving dish had moved a little bit, you know. So I take the spectrum analyzer outside, hook it up, started panning. No. I get signals, but it doesn't make sense. In the end, I found that was the commercial part of QO-100, the actual main satellite. I was starting to receive some of that. Then I got mixed up with the polarization. I'm sure that the high voltage is horizontal, and we're supposed to be horizontal. So I turned the LNB through 90 degrees because I only have a 12-volt battery outside that I run with the spectrum analyzer for the bias T. Nope. No. Still no go. Now I have a small. Don't I have audio? I've got audio. Yeah. Who's doing this? Let me just see. But I'm receiving myself, so it should be okay. Anyway, so yeah, I used my backup dish, which is over there. It's only a small dish. It's not a 1.2 like I'm normally receiving with. I think it's at 90 centimeter or something. Put that on the spectrum analyzer. No, QO-100 is there. But plug it into my receiver. No, just noise. Not receiving anything. What the heck is going on? Fitted a new LNB on the main dish. No, still no good. They're all modified. I modify them, change the crystals. I don't put GPS lock on that for TV. That's not necessary. It's only for narrowband that you need that. But something is still way out. I get noise. I get LNB noise. And I test them all indoors with a signal generator on 10.49 something gigs. Yeah, they're there. In the end, I found that the ini file of my QO-100 had gone corrupt. The figures that it displays looks right. But when I started fiddling there, there's a beacon. Oh no, things are coming alive. So there was nothing wrong with the hardware outside. It was the LNB offset value had changed. So I just reset that and so on, and okay, now I'm receiving fine. And the only thing that actually did move was my big dish, the 2.4 meter dish for the uplink. That I could get to the satellite, I could see myself, but I needed more power. I needed to shift the power up by about 3 or 4 dBs, and I don't like that. So the next day we just peaked that dish. It moved just a degree or so, peaked that, and Bob's your uncle, and we're back in business. So I really got led up the garden path by the computer. I even tried other receivers. No, still wouldn't work. So it was the freaking computer, the ini file of Minitune, that somehow changed. Now I did change the memory backup battery in the computer, but that was several weeks before, and surely that won't change the ini files. And then I also used this computer to do tracing of images for my laser cutter, but surely that shouldn't do anything. So I don't know. But anyway, it's all been fixed. So that's my tragic story of wasting almost a whole week searching for this problem. But it's all my receive sensitivity is actually a bit better now than what it was before. And I also sprayed the little radome on the LNB, sprayed it black, because the sun is vicious here in the summer, and the UV chows the radome, and then it falls off. It becomes completely brittle, and then you get rainwater in the LNB. And that one's been standing outside for more than a year without the radome, and it never died. And even when I brought it back inside, I tested it, it's still working. but it's got no more radio. So now I've got a new one up there and I sprayed it black, and it works fine. Okay, right, that's enough from me. And Gary, your signal is also perfect as always, the industry standard. So now we go to Peter, GW7BZY for the group from ZS1 Mike.
Yeah, it looks like it. Am I on? That's a question. Oh yeah. I didn't see it. I'm relying on YouTube at the moment a little bit. Talking about dishes, I think mine is becoming overgrown. And can't see. I can see myself. I can see Gary, no problem. But the weaker stations, I can't see. There we are. Am I moving? I'm not moving my own screen for some reason. Am I moving on the YouTube? Oh, I don't know. Anyway, I'm not sure. Is anybody pinging me to tell me? I'm moving now. So I don't know what was going on there. Yeah, GW7BZY returning to the group. Excellent. Turn the sound down. Yes, what have I been doing? Nothing very much radio-wise, as usual. I'm still trying to, with less vigour, trying to ingest DVDs into my server. Though I think I have updated it, but I think it needs a complete update. But what have I purchased? I've been purchasing stuff again. And what have I got? I've got a... Can I know if you can see that? I can zoom. That's the mighty zoom. So a little bit further in. Yeah, I bought myself a Magewell. I have a HDMI one. I've been running this one for about 15 years now. They are superb bits of kit. The old Magewell USB capture. This is a HDMI one. And you know, them HDMI big clunky plugs. I've now gone to SDI. The other one's an SDI, and the HDMI one exited from the side of the camera, which stopped me turning it quite to the angle I wanted it, and also put quite a lot of stress on the socket. So, so I've gone to SDI now. So I've got quite a length of cable. I'm not restricted. I could go in the garden. I can feed, I think, up to about, I don't know how much, I'm sure Leon will tell me, I think 1,000 feet is it you can do before it dies. So that might become in handy. I might do mobile from the garden. I think that's allowed. It's a lovely day here. We're having some sunshine. Sorry to hear about the weather there for you, Leon. Yeah. I mean, I have various things of that ilk, and usually, although I have had an LNB die on me, it's the power supply to my LNB that just gives up, and then you're receiving nothing. And I mean, I've got, like I say, the LNB noise now gives it away, doesn't it? But when I first started, that was the usual thing that died. So anyway, the later ones I've had have been fine. I don't feel quite so much, so I don't short them out. Because they're not very sensitive to being shorted out, are they, little circuit boards? And I always keep a few in spare, so if I do kill something, I can always repair it quite easily. Good picture from everybody there. M1 DST, I haven't seen you before, sir, so very good afternoon to you. And good picture, but it varied dramatically. And I couldn't receive it for a lot of the time. Like I said, my dish has become overgrown. I may go afterwards this over or today and cut down some of the greenery. But there we are. Anybody wants an a device to ingest in the computer and don't particularly want to use a SDI PCIe card or whatever the latest version is, you can use one of these things. It's USB 3. I got mine off eBay. It's not new, but I mean, I know that really they just last forever. I've never had a problem with it, and it's like 15 years old. It comes on with the computer, it goes off with the computer, and it's just there on standby. So there we are. That's what we've done this side. From GW7BZY to the group. Hopefully you can all hear and see me. I'm not confident, because my thing has frozen. Because no video movement, Gary, yeah. What's going on? Alright, it's a bit late now to do much about it. Okay, GW7BZY.
Hi, Peter. Just get the audio sorted. Get my... Okay, there we go. Peter, yes, unfortunately, your video was frozen and I couldn't really determine what was going on when you showed things, but your audio was very, very good, Peter. No problems in the audio side of your signal. Yeah, just in case, I'm just giving a little bit of more boomer. Sorry, let me go back a little bit. There we go. Okay, so if you look at my signal now, you'll see I'm pretty close to spot on. Okay, so right, James, nice to meet you for the first time on air. And yeah, your explanation was very, very good. Unfortunately, as Leon said, you dropped out a few times for me, and but got most of you over, which was really very, very good indeed. And it is like Leon says, the first place you go to is you go and check hardware, and then the software afterwards. And yeah, it's crazy how we always tend to move in that direction. First hardware and then software. But it's all part of the analysis, part of getting things fixed up, I presume. And Leon, yes, no problem in your signal. Very good signal indeed, as always. And Gary's signal, great as always. So no issues there. The only thing that I was busy with this week when I had time, I think it was actually yesterday, I had time, I adjusted my Pluto by means of software. So that I'm closer to the frequency that's required, the 499.10.499.250. So now I only use Goonhili as my reference, and it looks like, according to Goonhili, I'm sitting on 250. So not bad at all. And this is just a normal crystal within the Pluto. So I changed the crystal to a 1 part per million crystal. So it seems to be working okay now. Anyway, that's the only thing that I've been busy with. Nothing much more from my side. Just trying to think if there's anything else that I've been doing. No, that's it. And thanks a lot once again for hosting the net, Gary. Really much appreciated. And it was great seeing you on Friday. So next person is Martin. Martin, get ready for an over. And nice to see you on today as well, Martin. G8KOE and the net, this is ZS6MC.
Yeah, from G8KOE. Let's make sure we got a bit of audio. Yeah, I can see we've got some audio. Let's mute that up there so I don't get it. Yeah, I wasn't sure I was going to make it. It was sort of a rush, and I've been playing with various headsets, which is what I'm running one of the headsets at the moment. This one's got two, obviously, earphones, and the other one's only got one. So cheap and cheerful, but seem to work out very well for me. Makes life a lot easier at the moment. Working with the shack in the lounge, etc. It looks like I might be getting a cup of tea. I don't know. It's I'll take it. Oh, there we go. One cup of tea. It's and a biscuit. Right, I'm only going to make one over on this one. But what have I been up to? It'll bore Leon. I'm sorry, but I've been playing with SRT, which I run an SRT repeater, as I think I've said before. In fact, at the moment, I'm relaying this net on the SRT repeater. So it's just a matter of pushing a button and away it goes. But that runs 264, and it's got a total of 4 inputs to it. And I've been looking at 265, which it's not been easy to actually sort out. I've been trying to use the Media MTX software to stream 265 in and 265 out. I've been playing with it. John JTT has also been playing, and we've been not getting very far. But luckily, somebody felt sorry for us. Joe did. That's VK3TT. And he, I think within about an hour, I think it was, got it working. And has been refining it ever since. So I'm now able to run the stream on H.265 with a test card. And when an input comes in, the test card drops off, and it streams through. It works exceedingly well. I'd moved my OBS setting, but what I will demonstrate briefly, if we go there, that's the output of the Media MTX server running 265. So OBS is capable of running 265 because I've got a NVIDIA card. So if I start streaming, and I've lost the, obviously, I've bring it back. Go on. Proof it's going to. Oh, why is that not working? No, don't ever test anything live. That's what I say. It's probably gone to sleep, I expect. In fact, I'm pretty certain it's probably gone to sleep. So let's go over to. Something run it for. No, that's not going to work. That's not going to work. Probably anyway. It does work exceedingly well, except when you try and demonstrate anything. So I'm going to stop demonstrating it now and go back to me. But that's all running on a Raspberry Pi, or not, as we're saying. It was working exceedingly well, but for some reason doesn't want to. So let's stop streaming. Perhaps I'm not streaming where I think I'm streaming. It should have been. Perhaps the server's fallen out. I don't know. So I won't talk about it anymore. Anyway, it's... well, perhaps I was playing with it and I stopped it and didn't start it. Oh, I don't know. These are many more questions. No, it looks as though it's running. And if I start streaming, it's... yep. Like... yes, it looks like it's running there. So why isn't it receiving me? That's a good question, which I don't think I can answer. I think I totally know why. It's I'm gonna give up now. I think it's time to give up whilst you're sort of half ahead, but not that much ahead. But anyway, that's what I've been doing. So not getting very far but it was getting very far. But I've probably got too many things running here because I'm pushing the internet like crazy on I'm doing all sorts of streams. But let's have a look at that. Have a network stream. Oh, it's lost the stream. Why has it lost the stream in there? Lost the information in there. That's why it's not going to play. Right. Now I click on that. Ah, yes. Now, of course, it's going to work, you see. So if we go to the center screen, which is now my SRT repeater running on the Raspberry Pi. Now I've got it working. If I shut down my streaming to it, it'll go over to a test card. There you go. Stream back into it. Oh, I know why. You can't do it all with the same thing. So I'm trying to stream in what I'm trying to receive. What a failure. Leon will be laughing at me. Anyway, you'll be pleased to know I'm only going to have one attempt at not getting anything to work. And I'll say 7 is all. And I'll try and do better next time. Over to you there, Phil. And you can talk about plastic, I think. I think that's what you were talking about, isn't it? 7 is all from G8KOE.
Turn that down. Right, ooh, there we go. Good afternoon, morning, evening, wherever you are. It is an absolute gorgeous day here. The shack temperature is in excess of 30 degrees. I'm sweltering, so there's not much airflow up here. But it's lovely outside, absolutely lovely. But yeah, I'm a bit late to the show. I haven't done any checks, so I apologise if my audio is out of sync. I can't really do much at the moment. If it is out of sync, I suppose I could always change the camera, which would probably pull it in. But anyhow, I apologise if I am out of sync. And as for my level on my PA, which is out in a hut in the garden, it's quite warm out there, even though the door is open and all the fans are running. It's still pretty hot, and my PA, as it gets hot, the output power goes down, so I've got to keep an eye on it. At the moment, my PA is telling me it's 40 degrees. But I'm having to push a lot more power into it at the moment. So I'll keep my eye on that. So I won't be too long on the satellite, I don't think, today, which is probably a good thing for everybody. Just a quick update on my balloon. The design of what I'm going to be doing with my Whisper balloon is now done. I'm not going to change the design of it, i.e. I know the type of solar cells, the size of them, blah blah blah, how I'm going to do the antenna, all of that's done. That's not going to change, and including the antenna, the total payload is, as it stands at the moment, and that's 19 grams, and that is including a super capacitor, as suggested by Leon. I'm using a 0.47 farad supercapacitor, and on transmit that will keep it running for about 10 seconds, which is more than what I want. because it's just in case of the sun goes behind the balloon and the solar cells lose sunlight. So it's just to keep it up there, and it will transmit for 10 seconds with no sun on it at all. So that's all good. Now, question. On last week's net, Gary very kindly gave me some information about ABS plastic, which I took away, etc., etc., did some experiments, and the issues that I was having was the plastic that I was using. The plastic I was using was 8 years old, and it was ABS. It had been kept in a plastic bag, and Gary suggested that one of the things that I did was to bake it in the oven at about 100 degrees for 3 hours, and that is what I did. I don't think that really had much an effect, because the problem was that the print that was coming out cream with some dark cream or light brown streaks in it occasionally, and that was the very first print out that I did. But anyhow, to cut a long story short, I think what the problem is with this ABS that I've got is that it's been contaminated with ultraviolet light. And the reason I say that, my very first print was very dark, not dark cream, but it was very cream with these brown streaks in it. And with the last print that I have done, it's still light cream, but it is much lighter than my original print, and there's no streaks in it. And I think that is because the spool that the plastic is on is black and it is solid, so no ultraviolet can get in through the side, but it can get in round the edge. And I think that is why it was printing this creamy coloured. And this is the last print that I did, and this is ABS. This is this box. And I am astonished how well my printer prints ABS. That is, whoops, sorry about that. That is totally flat. There is no warping on it at all. And for Gary's benefit, the nozzle temperature was 250 degrees. The bed that I'm printing it on was 100 degrees, and the cabinet was set at about, it was between 57 and 60 degrees. And it's come out, I had to leave it in there for many hours to cool down, but it's come out absolutely perfect, and I am astonished. It's slightly cream, it's supposed to be brilliant white, but it's slightly cream, but that don't matter. This is actually going to be a box for a heater for the cabinet. But the question I've got for Gary, as he's the expert on the subject, is how do you control warping when you print ABS? Because you inject it into a mould, and I can't think that you can wait for that mould to cool down, because that's just going to lose production. So that when it comes out, the ABS is going to be warm. And does it not shrink and bow and distort, etc., as it cools down? So that's one for you, Gary. Right, that's enough of me waffling about ABS. Nigel has come in, so I'm going to hand it over to Nigel. So I'm going to find a test card. There's a test card, and then I'll kill carrier, and it's over to you then, Nigel.
still, please stay. No problem. Okay, and hello to Mike Willis. Spoke about you today, Mike, and see you on YouTube watching. I hope you having good video and good audio quality. And yeah, it's been quite a day, I tell you. Right, James, M1 DST, I think you are testing a bit lower down in frequency. You have an erratic output on your amplifier for whatever reason. So it could be a dry joint or something giving you hassles, or a certain temperature, and then it starts fluctuating quite badly. But I see a guy testing near us, and it's fluctuating quite a bit. So I hope you get that sorted, man. Otherwise, you had a very, very nice signal. There's no problem at all with that. Okay, Leon, excellent signal from you as usual, and I'm glad you found the fault. You'll remember I did say I think it could be your INI file, and sure enough it was, but that was a long shot. And then Peter, you froze for most of your over, so I don't know what happened there, but otherwise a good, solid, clear, still picture and audio fine. Henry, no problem on your signal, nicely on frequency, all's good. So nice to see you got that sorted. I'm glad we did the test yesterday as well. And Andre, ZS2BK, enjoyed the YouTube video. He'll be looking at this a bit later, and we do wish Andre a very speedy recovery. He's been through the mill, and now he's in a step-down facility. And I think by the end of the month, by the end of this week maybe, he'll get out and back home, and then we'll start with the process of helping him come on the air. Right, Phil. Firstly, Phil, you might recall I did mention the UV, that it could have degraded, and indeed you showed me the reel, and the reel looked good compared to the print. But what you say makes some sense. It's quite feasible. But I just want to tell you, ABS is some of the easiest plastics on the world to paint. You don't even really need a primer, so you can take a can of paint and paint over that white, so you don't have to throw it away, any color you wish. And ABS is quite a good bonding, it has a good bonding capability with normal paint. It's not like high-density polyethylene or even low-density polyethylene and nylons. They don't paint well at all. Okay, in answer to your question with the molds, yes, that is a problem in a mold. So there's a couple of things you do when you design your mold for injection molding. The one thing you do is you try and keep a uniform wall thickness, so you don't go thick and thin. Should you go to a slightly thicker, I have parts like that that are slightly thicker, we put certain cooling into the tool. So you design where you'll have cooling areas in the tool, and we either use pipes or we use one pipe and something that looks like a trench with little pieces of plate in to buffer the water going through, because it takes a bit of a while for the water to absorb the heat, so you don't want it to rush through too quickly. So you slow down the water. That's what I did on my amp as well, so that it has time to absorb the energy as it leaves the tool, and then the hot water goes out, replaced with cold water. But another thing we do, there's a thing called holding pressure on your injection machine. So you inject, just like a doctor would inject you inject this hot plastic into the mold, and then you find that the mold starts to, the plastic inside starts to shrink slightly. So you keep adding to it, you're filling it up, almost like what you would do in a foundry with metal. You just top up the risers. That's where they have the risers, or why they have the risers in the foundry. So we do the same with the injection molding. So we keep a holding pressure onto it. And it could be quite a high pressure. So as it sinks, you are replacing. And then also very important is to make sure that your mold cycle time is not too quick, because ABS, if it's uniform wall thickness, you can demold very quickly, 40 seconds, 35, 40 seconds if it's very thin. But the thicker you go, the more it delays the cycle time. So that's in a nutshell. Mold design, cooling design, temperature, of course, is important. And then the holding pressure is vital to get a very flat, proper product. And in the motor industry, we have to make products that are extremely accurate. I've made the new BMW X3 series, the rear panels. They were a nightmare to run. It was hell of a difficult because they had a lot of ribs in it, plus the nice finish on the surface. It was a certain leather grain type finish. Coupled to that, they didn't only want to use ABS, we had to go with a polycarbonate mixture with ABS, because it had to withstand a certain force in case of an accident, that it doesn't shatter and crack. That was a nightmare part to get going, but we got it beautifully in the end. But it took a lot of mold changes, gate changes. That's another thing. The way you gate the mold is vitally important. So you must have a laminar flow and that type of thing. So it's a bit of a black art in a way. There's so many variables, and you can make the same type of part every day and design the same type of mold every day, and it's not necessarily going to be totally correct. So each mold has a story. I always say, whenever we start a new project with the motor car, every part can tell you a story. But anyway, we get it right in the end, I suppose. And that's what we
Okay. Good afternoon, Nigel. In 9 NTRs, it is 1mm in the group. Yeah, it seems like James is still having problems, so he didn't come up. Okay, yes, what else have I been doing? I've been playing with my laser cutter, and I did this yesterday morning. A piece of 3mm balsa, and it like a knife through butter, and at low power even. So this thing is I've got it all settled now with all the ventilation and pumps and things going, so it's it's working very well. So I'm very satisfied with that. Now I can cut out lots of parts for my model airplanes. Phil, yeah, I don't know why you're using ABS. I've got some reels of ABS here, but I don't use it. I use PLA. It's just much less fussy, and yeah. I've never had UV problems here, unless the stuff was like lying around for years. But I mean, I've got reels here that I've been using for several years, and they just work. So I really don't have a problem. But yeah, well, your print is beautiful that you got in the end. But yeah, why use ABS? Anyway, okay, and I'm glad that your super cap is doing the job. Yeah, 0.47 is a nice tiny one, and yeah, it'll be very light. So 19 grams all up. Then it's just the weight of the balloon, and I think it's a small Milo one you're using, and they weigh just about nothing. So you're going to have a lot of extra lift, I'm telling you. With that balloon size, it's going to work fine. Okay, right. So Peter, you take it. Yeah, you had a beautiful stationary slideshow the whole over. Nigel had 2 small dropouts. I don't know what happened there, but then he's back on, and yeah, everything is fine. So, over to you, Peter. GW7BZY for the group from ZS1 Mike. Oh, I must switch off, hey?
With enough coal on the fire. Bit extra. Go for it. With enough coal on the fire. Bit extra. Go for it. Am I receiving myself? Yes, I am. All right, let's do it with it. Myself? Yes, I am. All right, let's do it. I don't know what happened there. Just showing pictures of my latest acquisition, which is the younger brother, sister to this. If you're gonna, I'm freezing on my transmission now. I don't know what's going on. I've got an SDI version, which I was going to say is more reliable, but I'm not. I'm starting to worry now. The reason I was hissing, someone said about hissing on the audio. I turned the auto gain up, on, sorry, and there's quite a lot of noise in the shack, and the directional antenna, of course, directional microphone sort of picks up ambient sound once I'm not speaking, etc. So there we are. I don't know how my audio. Somebody said my audio was good. Thank you very much for that. Hopefully the picture is moving now. I'm just going to have a look to see, because my receiving is terrible now. I said I've got trouble with Open Tuner, because one of my monitors has died, and he insists on putting the image on the dead monitor, which doesn't work. Yes, I could reload it, but I haven't bothered it. I should get round to it. I'll replace the monitor at some point and then sort it, but so I can't. I'm using Minitune now, and Minitune is working fine, but no longer does it allow the VLC part of it. It has to use the other way of connecting to its decoder. What's that? via, that's the wife, grass can. Yeah. Hello, love, I'm just on the telly. Right, see you in a minute. Oh, she wants me to move the car, but I'll move it in a moment. Yeah, so anyway. Very interesting, everybody there. Although with the strange problems, which we all get from time to time, and it seems to be a day. So for some reason, everybody disappeared on me. I couldn't see anything on YouTube, and I wasn't seeing anything on the satellite. I can only receive the very strongest signals at the moment, which is usually Gary and myself, and a little bit of Leon occasionally. But it's just not tuned to. I'm going to have to go out with a pair of with a hedge cutter and cut round the dish, so I can actually see, or you can see the satellite properly. I have been putting it off as everything else, but work is such that I am at work a lot of the time, and with overtime, etc. On my days off, I don't feel like doing a lot out in the garden. Not a big garden sort. I cut the grass. It's only a stamp of a front garden. I have fake grass. Yes, horror. I understand a lot of people don't like fake grass, and I don't like grass. I'd rather concrete. I'm a big fan of concrete and tarmac. With that, on that bombshell, another bombshell. I hand it round to ZS6 Mike Charlie, or Mike ML MC, I think it is. I was going to comment on what the King of England said. SRT H265. That's how I've always run it. The only reason I wouldn't run it H265 is because the Pluto, not the Pluto, the Raspberry Pi player won't play H265. So if you're having problems and it's involving a Pi as playback, it won't do H265. So that's a bit of a ball ache. But otherwise, it's just a matter of using the different encoder, and the computer handles it seamlessly, as will other encoding devices. I look very stop-start there in the picture. I don't know what's going on. Whether this new device I've got is on eBay at a lockdown price for a reason. But it's working perfectly as far as vMix is concerned. It's perfect. No stop, no juddering. And it's on the USB 3 socket. With that, I'll hand it round to, again, without another delay, ZS6MC. ML? MC, mate. I have a cough too. Seems this cough, everyone's getting it. Obviously spreading it around the world, hopefully not via television. GW Sound Bees and White, back to the group. If I can find the fade to black.
Okay, Peter. That's great. Came through very well now. No problems in copying you, seeing your movement. So it's come through very nicely indeed. Thank you. Yeah, not much to comment on. Nice to see Nigel. Nice to see you. And it's great to see that you got things going on your side. Gary, thanks a lot for that interesting description of using ABS and what could cause the problems on it. Yeah, and I think it's also good for Adam. I see Adam sent through some pictures on WhatsApp. So he's at a conference with a group of youngsters. So Adam, very nice pictures coming through on WhatsApp. Thank you very much for that. Looks like you are watching us in Poland. Great stuff. Leon, all noted on your stuff that you were busy with as well. And Phil, well done. Well done on getting it down to 19 grams. I cannot echo more what Leon said. So you've done a great job so far. Very nice indeed. Okay, I hope I haven't missed out. Peter, good to see you again with audio and video. And yes, and that's it. Missed out on M1 DST, but I'm sure we'll see him again on the net very, very soon. Okay, so over it goes to you, Martin. And Martin, I didn't comment on the tea and cookies. I think you should send some our way as well. Looks like you've got it all sorted out in that part of the world. Okay, Martin, over to you. I'll say goodbye to everybody. Have a great day and what's left of the Sunday. And we'll see you during the week. Next weekend I won't be here, unfortunately, but the week after, most likely, I shall be back. All right, G8KOE and the net. This is ZS6MC wishing you all best 73, and we'll speak again. Bye for now.
Yeah. Thanks, Henry. I think Martin said he was only going to do one over, so I left a space and no Martin, so I jumped in. Thank you, Gary, for your trade secrets. Interesting, very interesting. I thought there was, some of what you said I'd thought in the back of my mind that you would do, but I certainly didn't think about the holding time and also different areas would have cooling within the mould depending upon what is happening in that part of the world with the plastic. Yeah, I found that very, very interesting. Leon, 19 grams is what I'm working at the moment. I might be a 0.2 of a gram over, but I doubt if I'll be much more than that. But in terms of the balloon, you don't fill the balloon up. You put the minimum amount of gas in it to give you a lift of 7 grams. You don't weigh the balloon because you just don't. You just connect the balloon up to a known weight, and what you do, you put gas in the balloon so that the weight is 7 grams less than what it started out at. So that gives you 7 grams of lift. Hoping there won't be much gas in the balloon, and the reason why you don't put too much gas in the balloon is quite simple. Up at 40, or if you're lucky, 45,000 feet, which is highly unlikely, but at 40,000 feet, that balloon's going to expand with the gas. What you don't want is for it to go pop. And, well, that's basically it. You don't want it to go pop, because if you do, that's it, end of project. But yeah, that's where I am at the moment. I'll be lucky if I get it into Europe. I'll be really lucky, I think. It's my first attempt. There's a lot to go wrong. Just to get it off the ground in one piece will be an achievement, because it's all very, very delicate. But people have done this, and they've been able to send these balloons multiple times around the world. I'm not sure what the record is, but it must be 10, I would have thought, 10 times round. And yeah, you asked why am I using ABS? Well, when I bought my first printer, I had no knowledge of 3D printers, and I bought myself some plastic, and one of the rolls that I bought was a kilo of ABS, white ABS. And first time I used it was a disaster, and I clogged the nozzle up, and in the end I had to replace the nozzle. Not that it was expensive, but when you're new to the game, the last thing you want is to basically to destroy a part of your new toy. But anyhow, so I decided this is not for me, and I put it to one side, didn't throw it out, I kept it. So it's 8 years old, this ABS, and I got a new printer, and I thought, I've got the ABS, can I print with my new printer? And yes, and it was, apart from the colour, it was successful. And this is the biggest thing that I've ever printed on a 3D printer. I never attempted to print anything like this before, this size, and this is as it's come out. I haven't cleaned it up. It's just absolutely perfect. The finish on it is astonishing. I can't believe it. It's amazing. And it's ABS. And Leon says, well, I don't know why you use ABS because you've got PLA. Well, this is the best print I've ever done. And to be quite honest, I think I'll be using ABS all the time. I might even get rid of all the PLA that I got, because that is astonishing. And even the trials that I did on my new printer with ABS, I only had 2 failures, and I must have printed out about 6 different items, and I only had 2 failures, and both of those I know the reason why. One was one of them warped, and that was because I attempted to take it out of the cabinet before the cabinet had cooled down sufficiently. That was why that one warped. And the other one warped because there wasn't much adhesion to the bed because of the size of it. And what I should have done was to print a much bigger brim round it. Then that would have been okay. It might have also been that I needed to have the cabinet a bit hotter. But those were the 2 problems that I had, and I put them both down to operator error. But that is astonishing, and that's ABS, and it's perfect. It hasn't warped. Gary said about the colour of it. Well, to be quite honest, if I'm worried about the colour, I won't use this white ABS. I will use something else, PLA probably, because I've got a lot of it. But if it's sort of I don't know, a bracket or something like that you're not worried about the colour, I'll definitely use ABS. I mean, this ain't bad. I mean, it's not brilliant white, it's just a slight off-white. And as I go down the roll, it will probably get whiter. But yeah, I'm astonished. ABS, it's good for me. Right, that's enough for me waffling on about ABS. There we go. On Nigel, I'm going to hand it over to Nigel, because if Nigel doesn't come on, then I know that Gary's going to pick it up. So if you're there, Nigel, I'm going to put up the test card, and then I'm going to kill Carrier.
M9 and Charlie 10. Yeah, thanks, Phil. Yeah, I've never actually tried 3D printing. But yeah, it's colour look, well, my eyesight's not fantastic, so the colour would be irrelevant, really. But yeah, it looks pretty, and it sounded pretty, as you run your nail through it, squeaked. Sounded like it was seamless. If that's the right word, I'm not sure. when you fly, some video pictures. And this is probably a basic question, but it's basic for me anyway. As a record, you say estimated 10 times around the world. I know that once you let go, it's going to go up into the atmosphere, and depending on wind direction, and it must be. You can't control it other than by wind, I presume, or because it'd be too heavy to put motors in. So it'd be just going thermals. So yeah, we're interested in how they steer it. But yeah, it's pretty good. Yeah, Henry, yeah, got your transmission. No problem. Thanks for your comments. Peter, you jumped in, you naughty boy. You'll have to start watching. I can tell you off because I'm... no, I can't tell you off. I'm only joking, mate. But yeah, Peter, just as you... Liam was going to come on. You're transmitting for a few seconds. But anyway, it got sorted out. That's why you really got to... I'm down to one monitor. I've got two other monitors in. Well, I've got two televisions and two other monitors. I've not wired them up yet. So yeah, once I get sorted, we'll be fine. Yeah, nice to see you, Martin, King of England. Yeah, Martin. I don't know if you're still listening. Oh, what's that? Not DMS, DMR. Still station. Well, I've changed the call time, but I've got to do something with my Raspberry Pi, haven't I? I'm trying to think. I can't remember what I was going to say now, but I'll have to phone you up, mate, or send you an email. That's probably better. Because because it's still, what's it called? Not DMR. Oh, the other analog talkbacks what you use. But yeah, I've just got to sort that. Anyway, that's enough. Enough from me, anyway. Gary, ZS6YI. Thanks for running the net, Gary, and look forward to seeing everybody next week. I'll try and be a bit early on Tarn Parade next week. But I'm not rushing about forgetting stuff. Okay, going to cut carrier because I can't put a test card up because I'm not running OBS at this one. Moment anyway. ZS6YI and the group M9 and chart signing. Thank you and watching until the end. Cheers.
Okay, Nigel. Very good over. Very, very good over. Now, I just want to say hi to all the guys on YouTube that we saw. We have, let me just see now, the YouTube guys. We've got Peter, OE6 Delta Zulu Foxtrot. He's currently in Austria. That's DK3 Zulu Fox. Hello to you, Peter, always on frequency. Nice to see you. And we have Mario on, Kilo Delta 6 India Lima Oscar. Now, Mario's got a very interesting thing at the moment. He's getting the link from our YouTube station, which, by the way, I had a failure on the receiver. I had to restart it, and it's come back up. So we're on YouTube, fortunately. But Mario has a very interesting research project. They are communicating, different satellites communicating with each other, and also ground to earth, ground to satellite via not radio frequency as such, but laser. So very, very interesting. And I would like to invite Mario to perhaps we make a sked on one or other format. There are many available that we can have a good chat and record a nice interview with him and then play it on this satellite for the rest of Europe and so on to see. There's also another chap that came, Kilo Echo 8 Hotel Golf. And he says, how did I come across this? He's watching us as well on YouTube. Very, very big welcome to you. And yeah, that's Kilo Echo 8 Hotel Golf, watching us in the United States. And Yeah, it's nice that you can see us. This is the QO-100 satellite. It's been around since about 2018. We've got two parts on this satellite. It's the world's first geostationary satellite, and it was developed by the AMSAT DL, the German guys, and then, of course, a lot of additional work done by many people, a lot of French guys, Fox 5 EOE, and amongst others, South African guys writing programs, as well as a lot of the UK chaps, and they've together this has made a fantastic satellite available to amateur radio, being geostationary. It's easy. You point your dish. Some of the dishes are not big, about 1.2 meters, just a few feet, 2 feet, 2.5 feet in diameter, and it gets into the satellite quite nicely. I'm running at the moment around about 8.5, say 9 watts into the dish. I've got a 2.4 meter solid prime focus dish. So that's what we're doing, working. Are you now to get on the stat? You won't be able to get onto the satellite from the United States. There's parts of Brazil, South America that gets on. It's the footprint of the satellite. But you can go onto a link and you can see more about it. And you can also receive the satellite, which is quite interesting. But you can go on either the BATC, British Amateur Television Club. You can just go and have a look there, WW whatever, BATC, or British Amateur Television Club, and a wealth of information is there. You can also go to AMSAT DL, and then you've also got the AMSAT UK. So there's a lot of interesting places you can get more information on the satellite. You are able to come up on narrowband to listen on your cell phone. There's a link, and it's got an SDR receiver. It's called Gunhili, and you've got an SDR receiver, and you can actually tune up and down the band, even if you're in the States. And you can listen to various guys having SSB or CW contacts. So, yeah, you must spread the news. Secretly, there is talk of maybe AMSAT DL putting up a satellite that will be within the footprint of the Americans, as well as Europe, and hopefully part of South Africa. So I hope Leon and I are in it. But that's still talk, a lot of discussions in the background. Been going on for a few years, so it's not so much of a secret any longer. Anyway, okay, Nigel, you did well there, no problem last over. And Phil, yeah, excellent signal. You said you were very hot and you were a bit confused in the beginning. Well, I don't blame you. You must switch the fire off. That's adding a few degrees Celsius to your shack there. And yeah, I wonder what Martin did to be spoiled like that with a cup of tea and a cookie from Carol there. But it's great to see her walking around, looking quite well actually. So that's very good. Nigel, if you're listening, your microphone on this headphone is not nearly as good as your previous headphone. And then this one's got the 2 ears, whereas the other one only had one. So swap mics. But other than that, it's still good audio. Oh, yeah, but it's not nearly the hi-fi audio I'm used to getting from you. And picture for that matter. Okay, with that, I think I'm going to call the net. Have a happy week, guys. I see most of the guys are gone. And we'll talk again. And good luck with the 3D print. Oh, yeah, that's what I wanted to ask you, Phil. Your printer, what printer are you using? Maybe you can send me a WhatsApp on what particular make it is and so forth. And it'll be interesting to see it. I'm sure it's available. It might even be the same printer I bought for Leslie. He's got 4 colors. He's got 4 spools, different colors. But it's still a nuisance because you make a lot of losses. You got to purge the thing, and it's a whole rigmarole actually. But it's easy. the printer that Quentin built in around about 2010 had two heads on, and he could print not simultaneously. He could print, let's say, yellow, and then the other head moves in its place, and then it prints red, let's say, and then he moves it away. But he didn't have to purge the machine with the filament. Anyway, I'm glad you're having fun with it. It's a wonderful part of the hobby that you can do all sorts of things, and your imagination. And there are sites that you can get thousands and thousands. You just say drill sharpener, and you've got tons of CAD that you can just load, do your slicing, and start cutting or start printing. And it's a perfect angle for drills, to sharpen drills, for example. There's so many things. I got a thing to take all these cables and you hook them in, so that it's nice and neat, if you want to just hook them up. Printed a couple of them, but I did find that the cables I'm using are too thick for it, so I'm going to redraw it and then put it up, and all your cables are neat, for example. There's millions of things you can make. It's unbelievable what the guys are doing with 3D printing. It's fantastic. Some years back, I was involved with the setting up of the University of what do they call it? The Vaal Triangle University, VTU. And we set up, I was the vice chairman of the thing, to set up a technology station. And we got a nice grant of only 80 million rand from the government to put up 3D printers. In fact, we've even got 3D printers that print in metal. And we were making a lot of parts for an aircraft company up in Pretoria. I don't want to mention names. And they were buying a lot at one stage, but subsequently they've pulled out. So not of us, but out of South Africa. I don't do that anymore. I got too many traffic fines, always been late for darn meetings. God, every time I got a bloody fine. So eventually I said, guys, I can't come to these meetings because they talk a lot of nonsense at them anyway. And I left it, thank goodness, after many years at the university helping them out. All right, with that, I'm going to close the net, but everyone on Frequency a very happy week. We hope to see everyone next week. It's pitch black, dark outside. Can you believe it this time in South Africa? It's our winter coming up for sure. This is ZS6YI, bidding everyone on Frequency happy evening, happy week, and we see you guys next week if all goes well. Cheers and beers. ZS6YI, QRT, and 73.
Hi Gary. Yes, I've been receiving, I think this was the second one, something about satellite stuff, and this is to John McCarthy. How it ended up at my place, I don't know. And at the bottom it says Mario. So is this the same Mario you're referring to at the moment? They're busy with very interesting stuff, but I don't know how it ended up at my place. Yeah. Okay, that's it from me. From ZS1 Mike also saying 73s to everybody.
That's indeed the exact same Mario. That's the Mario. We've been in correspondence on email for some time, and he always watches our program. That's why I like it to be more slick, instead of breakdowns and people not viewing their own programs. Anyway, no, that's the same Mario. He's up. He's got some very interesting things. He sent me something. Also, old equipment that they were using in their labs. But I'm so pleased he hooked onto us, and he's actually retransmitting that in the States. Our channel is going overseas as well to the Americans. So it's nice. And there's a guy that came up now who said he's never seen this, and he's happy to, he's bowled over. Yeah, it's good fun, this satellite. It never ceases to amaze many people. All right, Leon, nice seeing you again, and we'll talk further down the week. ZS1 Mike near Cape Town, from ZS6YI near Johannesburg.
Okay, Gary. Yes, we must definitely get Mario on board live here. He's definitely busy with very interesting things. Okay, cheers. ZS1MM QRT.